Hey everyone, hope you're doing well today. Thank you for joining. Today we're going to be going over how to do the Rorschach pattern with the Ultra Color palette. So we will be making this shirt right here. So please be sure to look over this list of instructions and then we'll get started. All right, so we're going to take one of our shirts over here. Let's see, I'm going to go with this one right here. You want to turn your shirt inside out first. And we're going to lay it face up. And you're going to want to smooth it out. Make sure it's level on both sides. Get all your wrinkles out. So once it's even on both sides, then you'll start to flatten out your armpits. Go up to the top up here. Then your sleeves. Okay, so now that we're all level. Okay, so now what is a scrunch? So a scrunch is basically exactly that. You can take the shirt and literally just scrunch it up, and that's a scrunch. As simple as that if you want to do a super simple scrunch. And then there's tall, deep scrunches. So a tall, deep scrunch, you're going to take a piece of the shirt and bring it up really high. And then you're going to start to do that with other parts of the shirt so that your scrunch is tall and then it's deep. And so like this will work with like ice dyes and stuff like that. This will work with liquid dye too, but a lot of times your ice dyes will be in these taller scrunches. And then you can even do, say, like a small scrunch and just scrunch it real small here and just real slow, or maybe not real slow. As you can see, I'm kind of going through this quick, but I've done quite a few of these. And like what the goal is to get it to scrunch into itself, but not over itself. Okay. What we're going to do here, we're going to do the Rorschach scrunch. The first thing I'm going to do, rotate this 90 degrees. Then we're going to fold it in half. So the Rorschach, the ink blot tests from, I don't know exactly when they used to do those, but this is going to be that kind of style. So it's the scrunch in the Rorschach style. So Rorschach scrunch. So we've got it folded in half here. We'll make sure that it's even, folded down the middle. If it's not down the middle, when we undo this, excuse me, when we undo this, your pattern is going to be crooked, or you may not even have the same pattern on each side. So it's important to make sure that this is smooth all the way across. And the reason that I do the back side, so if you look at this, we have the back side on the top here. And then if we were to flip this over, it's the back side on this side as well. And then on the inside is the front and the front of the shirt. So the reason for that is so each layer mirrors, but because it's not a perfect mirror, there can be slight alterations between each layer. And so when you put dye on this layer, the layer on the other side may not be the exact same. And then when you put dye on this side, the layer on this side may not be the exact same. But because these two, the front layers, are touching each other, those two are the most likely to be the same. And so when you're wearing a shirt, most people look at the front of the design. They'll look at the back too, but the front is what people see most of the time. So you want the front to be most symmetrical overall on the shirt, and the back's going to be symmetrical, but you'll see just slight little differences. And I'll go over that at the very end, just to kind of show the differences between that. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to flip it back over. So I do like to tie or fold from this side here. And so we're going to scrunch it. So you can start from the bottom, start from the top. You can start wherever, or you can even start right here in the middle. Might as well go ahead and do that. And so you're just going to scrunch and squeeze in. So if you want to do a smaller scrunch, you can. If you want to do a bigger scrunch, you can. That's up to you. You just need to make sure that when you do scrunch it, you don't have anything fold over like this. So with this being over, that means that all the layers underneath, when we go to dye this, none of these layers are going to get dyed properly. So you need to make sure that it's just scrunched and squeezed into itself, so nothing goes over the top. So I'm going to do a mini scrunch here, not quite a micro scrunch because you can go smaller. I'm going to squeeze this and press. I got my hands here on the top here. So, and as I squeeze, I'm pressing down at the same time. That way when I squeeze, it doesn't cause it to bunch up like this. As you see, it's rising. You don't want that to happen. So if that does, just kind of level it back out. Squeeze, press down with your hands. Make sure you keep it flat. And we're going to do that with the rest of this. Try to keep it all the same height. Bring it all in and squeeze it. Give it, kind of hold it for a sec. So because it's wet, it has a little bit more memory. So the wrinkles stay in it. I call it memory because it holds the wrinkles. Not all will do this. Some fabrics are softer, some are thicker, some are lighter, some just don't hold wrinkles as well. I've been using these Gildan shirts. They seem to work very well for tie-dye. You can get them pretty much anywhere. So they've just been a nice little medium to work with. Okay, so now we've got our shirt scrunched in. Okay, I'm just going to hold this for about 2-3 seconds here. And it should hold its shape pretty well. And get some rubber bands. And the way that I'm going to put these rubber bands on, 4 fingers through, and then I use my thumb to help. So you're going to press your knuckles down on the table and just kind of drag it. You can get about halfway through. So when we let go of this, we're going to guide the rubber band in and press down, because this will want to just snap shut and it'll do this. You don't want this to happen. Oops, or like that. You don't want that to happen either. So if that does happen, all we got to do is pull this rubber band off. And so most of your wrinkles are already there. You just kind of undo it. We're just going to bring it right back in. And it's still folded the exact same. Okay, so we're going to go back. So I'm going to guide it just like that so it doesn't pop up. And then we're going to put at least one here, and then we're going to make a grid pattern on this. So if you put too much tension in one spot, like if you do a spiral around this, or if you put them like in a grid pattern, like with a spiral, sometimes it wants to enclose in on itself. So I have found that with these and with rubber bands, it's easier to do the grid pattern like this. It kind of disperses the pressure that's on the outside, and so it doesn't let it fold in quite as bad. Still can, but not as bad. And usually I'll start with the middle one first too. And then as each one goes on, give it a little squeeze just so it holds that tight formation there. Okay. And then for our corners, to hold the corners in. So I'm going to squeeze and kind of press those in. We're going to put one going across the corners as well. But you want to squeeze with each one, make sure it sets. Otherwise, it can kind of pop up like it did on us earlier. And you don't want that to happen after there's already been a whole bunch on here. So the goal is to get it to all kind of bind into itself. And that's what's going to give it the detail. So if it wasn't all tied, all the stuff that was like, if it was loose or hanging out, that would cause areas to be blurry. The pattern wouldn't be as clear. So we don't want that. We want everything tied in. And this is going to give us definition when we dye this. All right, so we're going to do the ultra color palette here. So we're going to use these colors. And we're going to do a gradient fade this way. Then we're going to flip it. And then we're going to do a gradient fade this way. So let's start with, you want to put a little bit of the color, not too much. You don't want it to bleed too much. Don't want it to go too deep into the layers back behind it. I have this angled here so that when it's wearing it, when you're wearing the shirt, it's not like straight up the shirt or straight to the side. It's off to the angle and off to an angle. So we're gonna get some cool color combos in this, with this being that Rorschach Scrunch. So who knows what kind of stuff you'll see. Sometimes people are like, hey, did you make that pattern on purpose? Well, depends on what they're doing. So like something like this, any kind of faces you see or anything like that is not done intentional. It's a cool effect, but there's definitely going to be a way to do something like that. I've actually thought about doing that, but that's a lot of work. So we'll kind of see. But there is ways to make faces and stuff. But like I draw designs, and so I can make a face in it if I want to. Just a matter of making a face in it. So yeah. But patterns like this, like you'll see faces, especially with it being folded in half and being that Rorschach pattern. Like people see faces in that. That was one of the tests that they used to do. Is like they would just put some ink into a piece of paper, fold it in half, open it, and go, what do you see? Apparently that was supposed to determine whether you were sane or not, which obviously did not work. Because like, come on, people see things. Like that's just human nature. It doesn't mean you're sane or insane. Could be, I don't know. Maybe we're all insane. Insane in the membrane. We're all just trying to get along here on a flying rock through space. Like, I mean, come on. Think about how lucky we are to be able to tie-dye clothes and make them any color we want while flying on a rock through space on something that's so old that we argue on how old it really is. And you know what? Does any of that really matter? Like, come on. We're here tie-dyeing. Like, how lucky can we be? Doesn't matter which side you come from. Creation, evolution, both of them. We are here enjoying color. We're here enjoying life. We can coexist with each other. Neither will ever prove the other right or wrong. Maybe they will. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we know. Maybe some of us have it figured out. Maybe the whole point is to not figure it out. Philosophy Talks by Nate. Yeah, so here I'm dying to kind of meet up with the other side. So we don't really want any white in this. So I'm gonna make sure to use a bit of dye. This is my my last shirt to dye for tonight. I've been here for a while. It is late at the moment. But I like being here late doing this. I'm not really a early morning person. Like, yes, I am, but I don't know. I don't think as clear in the morning. I'm a little foggy, and so like later in the day, in the evening, at night, like I'm so much more clear at night. Whether I have the energy or not, that can be another thing. But here, I'm doing this. I'm excited. Like I've been running on energy from the paintings that I posted earlier this week that I did. And yeah, there's just once you start doing something new and it takes off and people are liking it, it's just I gotta rethink some things. And so I'm gonna keep on doing these lessons here. I'm gonna try to get weekly videos posted if possible. I know I missed last week, but I wasn't able to come up here and record last Monday. The shop is only closed one day a week, and so that is the best day for me to record. That way I've got the whole place to myself, and I could record during the day and stuff, but like people are going to come talk, and there's people in here. The microphone's going to pick it up because we're not really like meant for sound deadening in here. So someone could be talking on the other side of the building and you can hear them in here. So this is my one day. I try to get a few videos recorded. I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might have got 6 videos recorded, which is what I did last time too. But I only posted 5 because one of them was not correct. My pattern was not right. I did a peace sign and it wasn't quite a peace sign. I was actually missing part of the symbol. A bunch of people were like, that's the Mercedes sign. And it was close, but it still wasn't the Mercedes sign because the Mercedes sign is done at a certain angle and the angles were not right. And so it's just, I just wasn't dealing with it. Like people were like, that's not a peace sign, right? I'm like, okay, fine. It's not a peace sign. Sue me. Like, sorry, my bad. Glad you're so perfect. But it's tie-dye. Like, come on. This is partially why I tie-dye. Don't take it so serious. We're all floating on a giant rock in space. Why so serious? Okay. All dyed, but we're going to do one other thing. And we're going to take some black. And we're going to cover this whole thing in black. This scares a lot of people during lessons. What? What do you mean you're covering it in black? So we're just going to have a black shirt? Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow when we wash it out now, won't we? Cover that in black. And now we wait till tomorrow. We'll wait for the magic to happen. So our shirt is now washed and dried. If you need to see how to do that, please watch my video, how to rinse and wash your tie-dye, and it'll go over the instructions more for you on that. We're going to go over this shirt here. And so what we did first is we folded the shirt in half. And so what that does is that mirrors this side to this side so that these two are the same. And then we scrunched it up. So that's how we get our sporadic pattern that we get here. And then by dyeing the two sides different. So if you take a closer look here, you can see how there's this fuchsia, orange, purple, blue, green, yellow right here. And then next to it is the blue, green, yellow, and into the orange, how it kind of alternates. And so you'll get lots of variances in the pattern like up here. And then because we dyed the color pattern going this way on one side and then going this way on the other, you'll get super variances in some spots, and then you'll get a few areas where it's kind of the same color in others, and so you get just lots of randomness throughout the whole thing basically. And then we put black over it, so that's where we get this dark shadow that comes in here. And so we'll take a look over at the outside or the back side, can see how the back is the same as well. And so this is at the very beginning when I talk about making sure all your wrinkles are out. The reason why is so that at the end, when we're done like this, you end up having the same pattern on this side of the shirt as this side of the shirt. And then you also have the same on the back of the shirt as the front of the shirt. So please be sure to click that like and subscribe. My name is Nate. Thank you for watching.